in these times in the country, are we in the times of capitalism or say socialism?
There are two terms, district judge and session judge. Could you tell me something differences between these two terms?
Name an enemy country of India.
Madam, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Please have a seat, Himanshu.
Thank you.
Himanshu, you are a practicing advocate.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Tell me one thing, Himanshu. In these times in the country, are we in the times of capitalism or say socialism?
Sir, I see it's a mix of both in my humble opinion. That there is a mix
Which one
of...
dominates out of them?
Sir, in country like India, I think there is a fine balance of both of them, in my opinion. There is enough amount of capitalism for the money to mushroom, and as well as enough welfare tendencies by the state to cater the...
Fine. In the times of capitalism, we think that litigations will increase in the coming days, yes or no?
Yes, sir. It does. It
So
will.
tell me one thing, if the litigations will increase, I think your career will be better as an advocate than a civil servant.
Sir, I tend to... it would certainly. However, my inclination since the beginning has been towards the administration, and that is indicated by the fact that post my graduation, I appeared for civil services. I appeared for 2 interviews as well, and I've been preparing since then. And in between, when my attempts were exhausted, I started my practice before the High Court of Rajasthan, and in between also I kept on studying, and sir, that is the reason I'm sitting over
So
here.
which one is a better profession, civil servant or an advocate?
Sir, both have its own advantages as well as disadvantages, but since my inclination and my choice has always been to come into the administration.
Okay, fine. Tell me the difference between advocate and a lawyer.
Sir, as such, there is no statutory difference between both of them in legal language, but in layman's language, an advocate is one who gets the certificate of practice from the respective bar council of that state, and a lawyer is one who has pursued his law, that is LLB. So that is the only difference.
So anyone having a law degree is a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the one who can pursue a case is an advocate?
He or she has to get the certificate of practice to...
So who is a counsel?
That's based, since sir, the Indian legal system has been sort of borrowed from the adversarial law system of the common law. So there, this word used to be in practice the counsel. The counsel is generally used in common parlance for an advocate only.
Okay.
Who gives you
We
counsel.
have article 142. What's this about? What's the purpose of this article?
Sir, Article 142 of the Constitution of India talks about the inherent powers of the Supreme Court. Whenever there is some sort of legislative vacuum, in the interest of justice, Supreme Court intervenes and gives directions or gives instructions in any matter per se.
Okay. Now, we have thousands and lakhs of cases pending, and we know the delay of justice is an injustice actually. Why doesn't Supreme Court use its power to say fast track the pending cases?
Sir, with reference to Article 142?
Yeah.
Sir, Supreme Court can only intervene, since there is this concept of separation of power. It won't be right for the Supreme Court to put its foot into every case per se in which a law is written by or law is made by the Parliament. However, whenever Supreme Court sees that there is some sort of legislative vacuum, and...
No, I'm asking, the point is, you have just said that the court has a power to fill the vacuum of the judicial executive.
Yes, sir.
In the times of the judiciary, the cases are pending. Why doesn't a court use its power to fast track the pending cases in the judiciary only? Rather than going with the executive domain, first fix your own house. Yes or no?
Rightly so. However, sir, I feel that there are certain arenas where, since there is legislative vacuum and there are no guidelines per se, if you permit, I would want to cite an example.
Sure.
Sir, there are 2 examples that I can think of. One example is Vishaka guidelines. Vishaka versus State of Rajasthan was a case of 1997. And the second case that I can think of is Taj Trapezium case. In both the cases, in Vishaka cases, there were no guidelines with respect to the prevention of sexual harassment at workplace, and therefore Supreme Court had to intervene because it was such a critical issue. Secondly, Taj trapezium, the second example that
Okay, fine, Himanshu, I got it too. Thank you, sir.
Himanshu, tell me that when IPC was enacted,
Sir, it was in 1860.
1860. What is IPC?
Sir, it's an Indian Penal Code. The full form is Indian Penal Code.
Okay.
It codified all the laws pertaining to the criminal laws side, substantive law.
Okay. So tell me that when IPC was enacted, there was a commission, and behalf of that commission, this act was enacted. Could you tell me the name of that commission?
Sir, it was in 1837. Macaulay Commission was.
Macaulay Commission.
Yes, sir.
Who was Macaulay?
Sir, Macaulay, I don't exactly remember who he was, but he was. I don't remember, sir, exactly.
Okay. Tell me one another answer. That what is CRPC?
Sir, CRPC is a criminal procedure code. It contains the procedural side of a particular trial and all the procedural laws pertaining to criminal law.
Yeah. So tell me that when during the colonial period, or you can say during the British period, when it came into force?
Sir, I don't remember the exact year during the British period, but in post-colonial time, it was in 1973.
1973. Okay. When we were talking about the Lord Macaulay, tell me one another answer that when this law commission, the first law commission of India during the British period, was settled.
Sir, I don't remember the exact year. I'm sorry. I'll go home and check.
Okay.
This.
And tell me that there are two terms, district judge and session judge. Could you tell me something differences between these two terms?
Sir, both the terms are used in two different parlances. District judge is basic, both are at the same pedestal. The only difference is that the district judge is generally takes care of the cases pertaining to the civil side of the law.
Okay.
On the other hand, the sessions judge, which is again equivalent to the district judge only, he or she takes care of the criminal side of the law. So that's the only difference between district judge and...
All of the first tell me that when the first Indian court, Supreme Court was founded.
Sir, I am unable to recall at this point of time.
And who was the first justice of Supreme Court in India?
Sir, it was Justice 𝐾𝐫𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐻.
Tell me the name of the court in which there are the highest numbers of the judges are there in that court.
Sir, it's in Allahabad High Court.
Allahabad High Court. Tell me that there are many high courts in India. Okay, how many high courts are in India?
Sir, I don't remember the exact number of the high courts.
Okay. So tell me that which high court was established at the first time in India?
Sir, it was the Calcutta High Court that was first.
Calcutta.
Yes.
And then?
Sir, Calcutta High Court and then Bombay High Court was established.
Then?
Post that, I don't remember, sir.
So tell me that why the Calcutta High Court was founded at the first time, and after that Bombay or Madras?
Sir, initially the Supreme Court that was there, it was Supreme Court of Calcutta that was there in Bengal at that point of time. And post that, it was felt that the system of justice administration that was adopted by the Britishers, where they had appointed the Hindu pontiffs as well as the Muslim pontiffs to adjudicate the religious side of the law. So that particular judicial administration was not up to the mark. So to make sure that all the lacunas are taken care into consideration, to avoid those lacunas, a high court was set up in Calcutta.
Okay, Himanshu, you have mentioned your hobby, endurance running. What does it mean?
Sir, endurance running is a form of running in which our focus is on the distance in comparison to time.
Okay, so how will you utilize your hobby in your bureaucracy?
Sir, running, in my opinion, is not just a mere physical exercise, but it also strengthens your mental stamina. I feel in the administration, be it police services or the bureaucracy per se, a physically fit as well as a mentally fit administration would be able to impart more. He or she would be more service oriented, more fit to make sure that whatever duties are assigned to him or her are done in a proper fashion, sir.
Okay, Himanshu, my last question is, you are from Jaipur, okay? So tell me that the term pink city used by which person at the first time?
Sir, I am unable to recall that. I would
And
check it.
tell me that there are many names like Savai Madho Singh, Savai Man Singh, and there are so many. So what is the meaning of Savai, and why the kings started to take such type of titles like Savai?
Sir, Savai basically means 1 plus 1 by 4. That is the Sawa in Hindi. The term Savai was used to indicate that the particular king is more than the normal people who are there. So it's one was used to denote the normal common people, and Savai was used to give him special sir attention. That was 1 plus 1 by 4. So he was Sawa in comparison to other people. So he was at the higher pedestal.
Ma'am.
Himanshu, Greenland has been seen in news
Yes, ma'am.
recently. What is the issue?
Ma'am, Greenland is in news because of the fact that Honorable President of the United States has shown his indication that the US wants to capture Greenland. So that is the reason Greenland is in news, ma'am.
Is Greenland independent?
No, ma'am, it's an autonomous territory which is ruled by Denmark.
When did Denmark get Greenland?
Ma'am, I am unable to recall that. I'm
How
sorry.
did Denmark get Greenland?
Ma'am, that also I am unable to recall.
Okay. So, if by any chance US succeeds in getting Greenland and US has also tried to get Venezuela, can we say that we are again moving towards colonization?
Ma'am, yes, I feel so. That it would be a sort of colonization itself. Also, it would be again against the concept of rule-based order as well. That also it would be a sort of, I would say it would be a reverse decolonization would be the better term that I would want to use, ma'am.
Okay. So, what is India's stand in all this? How are we reacting to Venezuela, Greenland, Iran, Israel, Russia, Ukraine, all these issues that are going on?
Ma'am, our foreign policy has been aligned with respect to every dispute that is currently ongoing. Our stance has been, while maintaining our strategic autonomy, we have said that any dispute that is occurring, that has to be solved with peaceful means, and the war has never been suggested by us. We have suggested that this is not an era of war, ma'am.
Okay. What is Operation Sindoor?
Operation Sindoor was, ma'am, a deterrent exercise against the enemy state, that is Pakistan, when they attacked. It was in response to the Pahalgam attack that they committed.
Okay, so basically you're saying that we are preaching non-violence to the entire world while we ourselves are not able to follow that and are creating chaos like Operation Sindoor?
No, ma'am, I tend to differ with it. It was, ma'am, in any international relations or be it any arena, to maintain our own sovereignty is the first principle of realism that I feel. And Operation Sindoor was not an act of violence, but rather an answer to the enemy state that whosoever attacks our sovereignty, including our people, would be given a bereft answer, ma'am.
Did India help in freedom of Bangladesh?
Yes, ma'am.
Why do we still have friction then?
Ma'am, during 1971, since 1971 onwards, there has been very cordial relations. But there are two reasons I feel of the friction. A, ma'am, of the deep state, that is deep state of Western powers that is working in Bangladesh, and secondly, Islamic hardliners are taking over the Bangladesh regime at this point of time. Both are not willing to cooperate with India. Also, both are not very much willing to make sure that this particular region stays.
Name an enemy country of India.
Ma'am, Pakistan is an enemy.
A friend nation?
Ma'am, as such, all these other states that I feel are friendly states, but however, enemy state is a statutory.
Alright. What is Hamas?
Hamas is, madam, an organization, a terrorist organization, I would call, that is working in the Middle East area.
Is it a religious organization or a terrorist organization?
Ma'am, I would call it in my opinion, it's a terrorist organization.
What is Hezbollah?
Hezbollah is again working in the Yemen, Syria, in the Middle East only. Hamas and Hezbollah both are proxies of Islamic hardliners who are perpetuating terrorist activities, ma'am, in that region and destabilizing it.
All right. Last question. What is tennis court oath?
Ma'am, I exactly don't remember. So therefore, I wouldn't want to guess, ma'am. I am not able to recall it at this point of time.
All right. So,
Himanshu, tell me the various sources of revenue for the Rajasthan government.
Sir, a few that I can think of are mining, tourism. Apart from that, sir, various local taxes
Like?
sir, UD tax, urban development tax that is being imposed, various fines, those are again.
Do we tax agriculture income?
Sir, we don't.
Why?
Sir,
We do have rich farmers as well. Then why not?
Sir, initially when this entire issue came up, the issue was that since the incomes of the farmers was very meager, and therefore it was said that we shouldn't tax.
Fine. Now can we tax them? Now they have the good lands, good incomes.
Sir, I feel that there are supposed to be a few exceptions that are supposed to be carved out to make sure that we are taxing the farmers whose income is above a particular standard or a particular criteria.
Okay. Then what would be the potential opposition that we may face in taxing the farmers?
Sir, one of the issue that I see and which I am able to think at this point of time is with respect to the ownership and sublease. So, for example, if there are many lands in our state as well. So the owner is sitting in somewhere in some XYZ place, and he or she has given this particular land to a jotedar. That is the common term that is used in revenue. So the person who is sharecropper, the person who is growing the crops, so the difficulty would be that who would be able to pay the tax? Would it be the sharecropper or would it be the owner?
Another thing, tell me, how does a center get its revenue from different sources? What are the different sources of center revenue?
Sir, again, this is income tax is there. Apart from that, corporate tax is there.
Which is the maximum contributor?
Sir, I am unable to pinpoint the exact highest.
Okay, thank you, Himanshu. It was good talking to you. Please wait outside.
Thank you, sir. Come on, sir.
Please come. Please have a seat. Himanshu.
Thank you, sir.
Himanshu, we have two observations regarding your feedback. But before that, I'd like to ask you that you have been into the civil services interview in the last few years. What's the experience and the result? What happened?
Sir, it was very good in my opinion. I got the good marks in the interview, but I think my main score was not up to the mark. So therefore, I couldn't make the final cut.
Regarding the RAS interview, this is the first interview?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How was the mains?
Sir, it was good again, but I think the result would be, in my opinion, it was very good.
See, Himanshu, the point is, one thing is regarding your presentation and your entry. The entry was very hasteful.
Okay.
Try to moderate this. Be more, slow down. You're rushing to the chair.
Okay.
And then maintain a decorum that you were holding the chair and asking us to say you to sit. So don't touch the chair.
Okay.
Don't have that haste in the.
Okay, sir.
Try to be more moderate and slow, right? Be a little slow in entering and then asking for the chair to sit, right? One thing is that. Second is the dress. Would you wear a suit in that day?
I would.
Yeah, please do that because this is not the perfect dress.
Okay, I would.
Comb your hairs as well.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Coming to the content part. See, content part we found it was good. Again, there is a scope for the improvements. One thing is that you have a very strong views regarding some like Pakistan is an enemy. See, enemy may be a Pakistan, but the point is PM had been to Pakistan in the last few years. We have to moderate it down, right? It may be a challenge, not an enemy per se. Yes or no?
Sir, I just have one doubt.
Sure.
With respect to, there is this act called Enemy Properties of India Act 1971.
Yeah.
So there comes a notification schedule with respect to the enemy properties, and in that is the reason I did not call any other state a friend or a enemy, because the notification by the MHA, Ministry of Home Affairs, that says that these are the enemy state, and so that was the only reason because of which.
The point is we have been changing the stand multiple times. We had the war. We had the Shimla declaration with the multiple declarations,
yes,
Lahore declarations. We had the visit by the prime ministers. So that was a different times. In today's times, we have to be very moderate in our approach. See, we had taken a strong stand against terrorism, not against Pakistan.
Okay.
All the operations were against the Jaish-e-Mohammed headquarters, not the people of Pakistan.
Yes, sir.
Avoids the strong statements, right? One thing is that. Otherwise, you see, you have good command on the law, other things are quite good. So we would find that in the other aspects, you are quite good. You can do much better. Plus, with the current affairs, you can update it further, right? Have some precise points. Otherwise, we find it quite good that you can do quite well because you have an experience of UPSC as well. That will help you.
Thank you, sir.
Fine. Any questions you have?
No, sir. With respect to this only, this was not a case of 1971. The amendment recently came in 2019, and that was the only reason because of
it may depend upon the opinions of the persons, right? Having said the enemy, you can't have the relations with them, but we do have relations, right? And we won't like to have a talk with them. We have a multiple treaties with them. Enemy is a very strong word to say.
True, sir. It is.
You may be in a trap. Who is an enemy? Who is a friend? We are a world of multi-alignment.
True.
And you never know. Say, Donald Trump asks you, India, Pakistan may go in the board of peace in Gaza. You can't sit with an enemy over there.
True, sir. I would be mindful of
it. So be assured that you have to be very careful in the words. Don't fall in the trap of calling them enemy.
Okay, sir. I would be mindful.
Do quite well.
Thank you, sir.
All the very best.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
अब एग्जाम की तैयारी को और बेहतर करने के लिए हमारे चैनल को लाइक, शेयर और सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें।